state-operated broadband network that focuses on serving K-12 schools, libraries, higher education institutions, government entities, healthcare, and kind of nonprofit, pretty much the community anchor institutions. We have been very fortunate to have received a federal stimulus broadband grant back in 2010, and we also received state capital funds to support that. And so we are building our network from kind of a lease line network to a fiber-based network. We'll be operating about 2,000 miles of fiber throughout the state that we'll be building or lighting up. And we are working with the other broadband stimulus grant recipients throughout the state. Clearwave to the south, we've got UC2B in Champaign, NIU, and the iFiber and data groups to the north. We're also working with some of the folks who received money from the rural, from Department of Ag and the RUS grants. And so while we are focusing on a 55 county area kind of in central Illinois and kind of that rolls on the east side of the state up to Chicago, we will continue to have a statewide presence with our network. But this fiber network, it's what you would consider a open access network. And so it will, while we will use it to light and run the Illinois Sentry network, kind of the bigger opportunity out there is the fiber and the services will be available to any provider, business, or entity to use that network to expand their reach and access into other communities, to provide them with backhaul connectivity to Chicago where they need to get to the Tier 1 internet service providers. So this project, it's a 3-year project, and so we're a little over 2 years into it, and we have about 7 months left. We need to be finished by the end of July, and we are on track to finish on time. We have 90% of our conduit is in the ground. If you're traveling along the interstate, I-57 from Champaign to Effingham, you're traveling on 70, and you see crews working on the side of the interstates. That's probably one of our contractors. They have about 45% of the fiber is pulled. We have about 10 community anchor institutions that are operational or that are connected. We have a handful that are operational, some notable ones. Litchfield High School is up and operational. Mount Olive High School is operational. Divernon's connected, and at their choice, when they're ready to flip the switch, they can move over. Waubonsee Community College up north is just connected as of last week, and we are now kind of at the point where we have each week, there's probably going to be 1 or 2 that's going to kind of roll and come online. But one of the things I want to mention too, we focus on those anchor institutions, but we are delivering fiber to less than probably 5% of the anchor institutions in that 55 county area. Really, again, we're focusing on middle mile and delivering it to the door of community college main campuses and in some of the K-12 schools that we pass along the way. So we are working with all of the existing and new and emerging service providers and how that they can use their networks to extend the ICN connectivity into the communities, into the doors of the K-12. And those discussions have been going, very well. I see some of the providers here in the room that are working with us, both wireless and wireline, to offer high-speed, symmetrical services. We are in discussion. Some of the providers in this area, are telling us the same story that we heard, that they need middle mile network connectivity to get back to Chicago, and so we're working with those folks that as the fiber is complete and we have a path to Chicago, that they will be able to either purchase lit services or dark fiber and be able to expand their connectivity in the area. One of the things I say, I was just having a discussion with a provider here before we started, and we do on our website at www.illinois.net, we have our prices and our services and our offering. But one of the things, if we are not offering a service that you're interested in, if our terms, the long-term commitment, you'd rather have a shorter-term commitment, please give us a call and let us know. Once the fiber's in the ground, it does no good if it's not being used and it's not being used by the local service providers. So we want to be as flexible and meet your needs so that you're able to use it, reach more households, more anchor institutions throughout the state. We do have a booth over there, myself and Chris Watkins, who is from our Regional Technology Center in Effingham, will be around. We've got some maps, we've got some pricing information, and we'd be happy to take your questions.